Here's a crazy theory. Welcome to the Notebook. If you have a 22-game home winning streak, maybe it's better that you don't play Ohio State. Maybe you build it because you didn't. Caden Curry just walked out of the podium here after a 24-6 win. You said you didn't know that 5 tackles for loss was a school record?
Did not. I mean, I wasn't really planning on that, but making a play when my number's called.
What is it for you right now that is clicking? Because I think we had the same conversation 2 weeks ago. It's like, well, here comes the sacks, here comes the tackles for loss. Like, is something different for you, or just the opportunities are coming your way?
Just the preparation I put in every week, and this whole defensive line, and I feel like we just practice how we play, and then the game's just kind of all of our success and motivation we did during the week.
Feels like this flight home will probably be pretty quick or enjoyable. How's it? What do you want to do? What do you want to do when you get on the plane?
Definitely celebrate a little bit. Be with my guys.
All right.
My defense.
We'll do that. Enjoy it.
Thank you guys.
Thanks, Caden. All right, so here we go. Welcome to the Notebook on the Austin and Berm Show. This is the madness down here as Ohio State tries to get out of Husky Stadium. They ended that 22-game winning streak. Just gonna say Lorenzo's looking healthy here. Made a couple big plays, couple big hits, and got a big. I don't think they got this from the Home Depot. They don't make chicken, do they? But here we go. So huge win for Ohio State. They snap Washington's win streak. You're good. They open up the Big Ten schedule with a road win. Certainly an interesting one for the offense. They had a pretty limited opportunities there in the first half. We'll get into that as we go along. And it's 7-3 at halftime, but they dominate the middle eight. Ryan Day and many coaches, that's always the emphasis for him. To get that done, they score right before they go into the locker room in the second quarter. They score when they come out and start the third quarter.
Hey, I see you guys, man.
Hey, Matt Guerreri.
Yes.
Can I ask you one question?
Of course you can.
Is Caleb Downs still good at football?
Correct.
Oh, correct?
Correct. You know that answer, yes.
Yeah, when OG Walt was coming off the field, he just kept saying, best in America, not a slogan.
Yep.
There was so much talk for these 2 weeks about you guys coming in and Damon Williams, and that this is the first real test. To pass it the way that you guys did, I don't think it would be a surprise to you, but how encouraging is it to see what you guys did?
Yeah, I think anytime you have a chance to go on the road for the first time in a conference game, it's a really good explosive offense. You've got talented receiver, talented running back, talented quarterback, and our guys stepped up and did their job, and yeah, proud of our guys.
What flavor we got here?
I think we got a teriyaki chicken or something. I don't know, man. Yum yum sauce? Yum yum. I don't care. Hit me with yum yum sauce.
All right, hit that yum yum sauce. Go enjoy it.
But I appreciate you guys.
It tastes better after a win, I bet.
Right. Always, man.
All right, Matt Guerreri, safeties coach. There's the muscles right here. Look at it. What are you clocking out here? Look at that. Oh, I'm too close. Look at that look. You're always just looking for threats out here.
Yeah.
Protecting Ryan Day.
Where can you help, right? That's the team motto.
Yeah.
Help out, pitch in, get a win, everybody goes home happy.
All right, get him home. Buckeyes will be back there, by the way, next Saturday against Minnesota for homecoming. That will be in prime time. Got a little. I just keep thinking that something has been bothering Edric Houston going on, and now he's got the ankle injury on top of that. Here's Caden McDonald. So, Caden, what flavor we got here?
Chicken with some yum yum, eat good, play good, feel good, just ready to go back home.
I mean, you worked up quite an appetite. I mean, is there a statistical battle to be the best Caden on this team? Like, you two are going at it for sacks and tackles for loss? Like,
Most definitely it's a battle, every week. When he make a play, it make me want to go harder. When he make a play, it make him want to go harder. And we just working together.
Everybody said for the last 2 weeks, well, Damon Williams, this will be a new test for Ohio State's defensive line. They're going to have to be disciplined. How can they corral him to do it the way you guys did? How validating, encouraging, good does it feel?
I feel like this D-line, we got the best players in the nation. We're the Buckeyes, We're reigning national champions, and we're hungry.
All right. You're hungry, go eat. All right.
I appreciate it.
Thanks, K-Mac. All right, so 24-6. Look, I mean, you keep saying that number. We spent so much time, Berm also, by the way, behind the camera. It's great to have him back on that for the Notebook. Well, Damon Williams, what's he going to be able to do to Ohio State? How's Julian Sayin going to handle the noise? By the way, this place lived up to the billing. And I'm not trying to mock that winning streak, but, because it's earned, they've played really good football in here. This overhang on both sides, it traps that noise in there, and their fan base was fired up. I believe they said it was the largest crowd that they've had since they completed the renovation here, since Nebraska, maybe 14 years ago or so, they said. And it was loud, the decibel meter in that first half when I think it was 119 I saw on the scoreboard. It looked a lot more accurate than the one that might be used in the horseshoe. It was difficult for them to communicate. And then even though the defense came out rock solid, now they did give up a couple drives, but we'll get to that. The red zone defense continues to be impeccable for Ohio State. They hold Washington to just these 2 field goals. And you have Caden Curry and Caden McDonald combining for 7 tackles for loss by the time McDonald gets that sack there in the fourth quarter that is the game sealer for the Buckeyes. I think we have to start talking about a historic possibility for this defense, that it could be even better than the one that won the national championship a year ago. Kenyatta, I was joking with you coming off the field. I guess you looked like you could barely walk on Wednesday.
Yeah, I mean, I just got, I don't know what it is, but, I was hurting on Wednesday, but, the trainers, they do a good job taking care of me and the other players, so that's pretty much it.
I mean, to deal with that 3 days ago and then fly across the country and play the level you did, which I'm going to say, in my opinion, you can tell me if I'm wrong, I thought that might have been one of the better games of your career, if not the best game of your career. Am I off base? Did it feel like that to you? And how crazy is that given what you were dealing with a couple days ago?
Yeah, by far one of my best games. Actually, Coach Mick, we were walking off the field and he said that same thing. But
I'm in good company then.
But yeah, this, finally have a chance, just being a starter, showing my, abilities, finally, just doing my job at the end of the day, just playing Buckeye football, and that's it. For
everybody that we spent 8 months saying, can the Rushmen reload? You lose all those starters. You lose Jack, JT, Ty, and Ty. And you guys had to hear that for a long time. And then weeks where, can they stop Damon Williams? Can they keep up with him? Is Kenyatta hurt? To go do what you guys did for the Rushmen today, in your mind, what does it say?
We're the Rushmen. That's simple as that. We're the Rushmen. We have a standard about the Rushmen: play tough, play physical, run to the football, don't be out physical. And we showed that today.
All right. You earned you got spicy there. Kicking it up. Thanks a lot, Kenyatta Jackson. Another piece of that, just phenomenal defensive effort for Ohio State. So no touchdowns for the Huskies. Ohio State, they wind up scoring 3 here. And again, as I mentioned, they didn't get that first one until late in the second quarter. And it wasn't, it just felt disjointed. They had a special teams fumble, Brandon Ennis. The punt return game, they gave up a long return later in the game. I don't know what to say about the special teams at this point. I don't really want this to be a nitpicking notebook, because flying across the country and what we mentioned about the noise in here, the quality of the opponent that Washington is, Ryan Day was incredibly complimentary, both sides of the football, of what Washington could do. So, and Ohio State had to earn it, and they did. I think that's why there's so much gratification, and why that locker room celebration next to that room that we escaped out of there for the press conference, why it was so raucous, why the noise was so loud, because there's a different, level of validation when you go on the road in the Big Ten and play an opponent like this. This is not Rutgers. This was not going to Maryland. Washington is a very proud program. Everything in here was pretty phenomenal. Another day, another couple trips to the end zone to silence this crowd. What was it like to be out in this environment, and then to make it go from 120 decibels to 0?
That's something we preached all week. We the villain. We want to come in, take over their territory, and silence the crowd. By the end of the game, we only want to see red in the stands.
What is it like to be in the midst of it? I mean, you're trying to communicate on the field. Even in the press box, I can barely hear myself think. How did you guys manage that? How did Julian manage that for his first time?
To be honest, I think our practices are way louder. Our speakers, they're annoying loud. You literally can't hear. So to be honest, hearing that on the field today, it was nothing.
The way that you and Bo sort of played off of each other, complimented each other in the backfield, it feels like you guys have got this thing maybe figured out, what it could look like moving forward. What has he done to take his game to the next level? What are you doing to continue to push him?
What he's doing, he's becoming a pro early. That's something Coach Day always preaches. Players show it. They show flashes. Pros do it consistently. And he's becoming a pro early. And me just pushing him to be a pro early, you know, like, because we're going to need him down the stretch. You saw today he had an amazing game, you know.
Yeah.
The previous weeks he's been having an amazing game. So we're going to need that guy, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's special. He has a lot of talent.
Yeah. What flavor are we going with here?
Right now, I got chicken with no veggies. Sorry, mama, I can't do veggies.
Uh-oh.
I got some Takis in the bag, and I got some hot fries in my book bag. I got to have my snacks on the way to this 8-hour flight.
Ooh, the hot fries. Okay. All right, well, enjoy, man. I know you got your hands full, so thanks for stopping. CJ Donaldson there, grabbing him. Another big game. I think we'll probably come out of this, and we'll talk about it on Snap Judgments, that maybe there's this sense that the takeover for Bo Jackson has arrived. He's not going to do it alone. That there was this rush to move on to the next best thing, and Bo Jackson is different. There's no doubt about that. But CJ Donaldson is integral to this offensive game plan and what the Buckeyes are going to do with that ground game. And I think, Berm, I can't quite remember, did somebody predict boldly a rushing touchdown and a receiving touchdown for CJ Donaldson?
Can't prove that.
I can't? Oh, man. I hope there was evidence. Hey, travel safe, gentlemen.
You guys do the same.
A great SID day.
Great SID day.
I will have a cold one tonight. I will. That's my little secret. And now I'm sharing it with you, folks. Yeah, so long trip, long flight home for the Buckeyes, but they'll have earned some rest here. This was a pretty physical game, and you've seen, I think Berm showed Edric Houston there with the wrap on his ankle. Lorenzo Styles was coming off of the injury a couple weeks ago against Ohio. Jermaine Matthews had been, looked a little banged up at times today. This is the part of the season where that's going to happen, and the depth of this team is going to have to emerge. And I think there are some really encouraging signs that is happening, particularly on that defensive line. So Tywan Malone has stepped in, perfect. I don't know. I'll defer to Larry Johnson and Matt Patricia and the coaching staff on that one, but they have not been batting an eye to put him in the game. I think before we, gloss it over too much, the ability for this team, when it gives up yardage between the 20s, to batten down the hatches and shut things down in the red zone, that was one of the hallmarks of that defense a year ago on the way to the national championship. They're picking up right where they left off. They did it in the opener against Texas, and then to come do it here today with, so much attention on Damon Williams and this rushing attack for Washington, and Jonah Coleman is going to be able to do this and that. They get down to the 2-yard line right over here, and suddenly Caden Curry explodes. He gets one tackle for loss. Washington commits a false start penalty. Then Caden Curry gets another tackle for loss. They kick a field goal. That threat ends. They drive again on the next one. Ohio State comes in. They make a couple plays in the backfield. I believe that was, Kenyatta Jackson with his sack on Damon Williams there in the backfield. And Washington feels like it's got to get creative, fakes a field goal. Had no chance of succeeding against Ohio State. And it was at that point, it was like Washington had a chance to turn this into its game, that it could continue that win streak, that it could upset the number one team in the country, and it had to take its shot. It knew 1 through 85. And Berm, you mentioned this when the Huskies came out before pregame. Like they don't look the same as Ohio State, and I thought they were really well coached. They had a good game plan. The crowd was behind them to make it difficult for Julian Sayin and the offensive communication. I give them full credit for that, but eventually, if they didn't connect on one of those big swings, which they didn't on the faked field goal, it's like, okay, well, now Ohio State can settle into this rhythm. It was like right about here that Jeremiah Smith takes a little delayed drag late in that second quarter. It was like they knew what Ryan Walters was going to do. Brian Hartline was looking him up and reading that book, and Jeremiah cruises into the end zone. It's like, all right, well, here comes some normalcy, and the Buckeyes are going to pull away. And they didn't pull away for a blowout, but it just became a relatively comfortable win for them, which sounds weird when it was, 14-6 and 17-6. But Ohio State was clearly the more talented team, and they answered all those challenges that we talked about. Defensive line phenomenal against Damon Williams, pinning him in. A team effort for those guys up front. I was talking about the injuries earlier, and Kenyatta Jackson to bounce back. That's really worth reiterating because he's another guy that we've talked about that has to take this next step for Ohio State. I think he's clearly doing that. And in the face of adversity, I think it kind of reminds me in a way what happened here today at Husky Stadium to the win. and how pivotal it was for Ohio State to build that confidence at Penn State last year. And not the most aesthetically pleasing game. You'd say 24-6. That's probably the same case again today. But all of the challenges and clearly not playing their best football for most of the first half, primarily on offense, to overcome all of that is pretty important. And I think that they'll carry this into this next stretch.
Caden Curry. Sorry.
I didn't even. This is 10 TV's Adam King.
Caden Curry. He's your player of the game. What a game.
You could have picked either Caden.
No, I want Caden Curry. What a game. What a performance by the defense. All I heard was this trifecta of this Washington offense is going to be amazing.
I heard that from you.
Oh my goodness, their quarterback is going to run everywhere and no one's going to stop him. He didn't find the end zone. They didn't score a touchdown. I mean, that's insane.
It's hard to win if you don't do that.
It's hard to win if you don't do that. They didn't score a touchdown. I thought it was beyond impressive. I said to Sonny Styles, this defense, they will give up 99 yards on a drive, but they will not give up that last yard.
If you give them an inch, they'll defend it.
I don't know about an inch. Give them a yard. An inch is
yard.
an inch is like that much. You can just kind of move the football an inch.
Yeah, well, Arch Manning couldn't.
This is a pleasure.
What'd you think of this place?
I thought it lived up to the loudness, but I want to shout out you, Buckeye Nation, because I thought the Buckeye fans were just as loud. When Ohio State would make a good play, this place would erupt just like it was a Washington play.
I wrote it down. When was it? Right before halftime, after the touchdown, the Husky Stadium crowd, the purple-clad part of the crowd, got real quiet. Like, this thing could get away. Mm-hmm. And there was a "Let's Go Bucks" chant that was echoing underneath that overhang.
Loud.
It was very loud.
It was very loud.
Buckeye Nation, turns out they show up. Is it the largest Ohio State travel contingent you've ever seen?
Was I not wrong? Was I not? It was electric in there. Shout out to Berm back on the camera here. We're glad that he's off the IR. We were worried about him.
Look at that. He's getting to look at his own ankles. Hey, thanks, Adam.
Hey.
I'll talk to you on Talking Tuesday.
Hey, I'll talk to you on Talking Tuesday.
That sounds great. And so here we go, loading up the truck. Buckeyes ready to head home. Look at this. It takes an army to get the Buckeyes on the road. Hard working here. Long trip. Hey, that's me.
Watch the show every day. I live here.
Oh, thanks for watching.
I love you.
You live out here in Seattle?
Oregon.
Oregon?
Yeah.
So how far do you have to go?
3.5 hours.
What'd you think?
Good game. Could have done better, but
come
we
on.
covered
By 18 on the road, you got it covered. Great teams covered.
We covered.
Hey, thanks for watching. All right, bus is loading up. Buckeyes are getting out of here. We're gonna get out of here. We'll probably leave the superstar alone, should we? Yeah, we'll leave him. We'll talk to him after he does some more fantastic work again next week. What's going on here? Caleb's trying to fight through this crowd to get on the bus and get out of here. He's got CJ Barnett, the best bodyguard that you could possibly ask for. But here you go. This is what it's like to get on the road and then try and get home. The buses all turned around. They're ready to pull out here immediately. Welcome back to the lineup, Lorenzo. You weren't lying. You said you'd be back.
I will be back. Yes, sir.
All right, so 24-6. Buckeyes are 4-0. They are still the number one team in the country. They are undefeated. They now have a road win, and they now have a Big Ten Conference win to start things off. Homecoming next week will be in prime time. A night game in the Horseshoe. Everyone's been clamoring for that, except in this case, Ohio State, which they wanted homecoming at noon. Hey, what's up, man? How are you?
Good.
What'd you think of the game?
It was great. Great game. We knew it was going to be like that.
No complaints?
No complaints.
That's what I like to hear. No nitpicking on the notebook today, so good to see you. All right, so I met that bartender at the airport last year. It was great. No, well, we're going to wrap it up here. Let Brian Hartline enjoy this moment with his family and get him on the plane because the Buckeyes, they've got one to catch. They've got to get out of here. We'll be traveling back to the great state of Ohio on Sunday. Full week of coverage, of course, coming your way on 97.1 and 10 TV. Thanks for following along with us out here in Seattle, Washington. A big win for the Buckeyes, undefeated, 24-6 winners over the Huskies, and their home winning streak is now kaput, dead, over, goodbye. Thanks for joining us on The Notebook. Thanks to Byrne for being back. We'll talk to you next time.